I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Inclination towards fulfilling demands leads to tendency of breaching legal provisions. Government going down to self-interest groups risk prevalence of anarchy. The number of Nepalese killed due to alcohol poisoning in Malaysia climbs to 9. Complications arise in bringing bodies back. Insurance claims not clear. Presidential elections taking place in Maldives today amid massive criticism. China and America looking at the elections with a special interest. And Liverpool records 6 straight wins at the start of the English Premier League season and overall 8 wins with a 3-0 crossing of Southampton. The government has increased the public transport fare by 10%. An agreement was reached between the government and the transport entrepreneurs to raise the transport fare by 10% beginning today. The agreement was reached late last night. The decision is likely to affect the commuters ahead of the same festival. And now let's move on to other political updates. The new civil and criminal code drew criticism from different quarters as soon as they were introduced. Both the codes were endorsed by Parliament last year, citing the need to replace the 110-year-old civil code with the laws pertaining to the current day requirements. The new laws came into effect from 17th of August this year based on the same logic. However, the government has started amending the laws to satisfy whatsoever sector resorting to resistance to fulfill their petty interests, disregarding the significance of the civil and criminal codes and long-term legal consequences in this regard. The provision that held any medical practitioner accountable if a patient dies due to carelessness in treatment or out of intent turned out to be unbearable to doctors. The government was compelled to amend the criminal code right away without further deliberation after doctors resorted to resistance by halting essential medical services. The recent instance is the agreement forged with the so-called Drivers' Struggle Association as the government bowed down to the group's pressure irrespective of the unreasonable demands. It is high time that the government moved ahead with serious deliberation on effectively implementing the laws formulated after overcoming a series of challenges. On the contrary, the government has indulged in frequent amendments of the very laws which were aimed at the well-being of the public. Experts have warned that this would lead to the tendency of refusal to abide by the state laws while further nurturing the trend of impunity. Contradictory views were seen at the leadership front of the ruling Nepal Communist Party. Speaking at the same forum on Saturday, Prime Minister and NCP Chairman KP Sharma Oli defended the modus operandi of the government, while another chairman, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, criticized the same. Dahal expressed dissatisfaction towards the attitude of the party leaders and cadres regarding the issue of integration of party structures. At a time when the government is being criticized within the party and from outside for its failure to operate based on the public aspirations, Oli addressing the 4th Memorial Day of Sahana Pradhan at the party office, Dhumbarai urged all the leaders and cadres to assist the government in its operation. However, speaking at the same forum, another chairman, Dahal, criticized the performance of the government and the attitude of the party members towards finalizing the unification remainders. He opined that the works of integration of party structures should be taken forward with thorough review of all the party ranks. Meeting of the party secretariat had concluded the unit leadership in all 7 provinces based on power sharing on Friday. Dahal aired such polarizing opinion following dissatisfaction expressed by other leaders regarding the share of responsibilities. Amid such discontentment across all power ranks within the party, the NCP Secretariat has assigned the responsibility of integrating district to local level units to the provincial committees. A large faction of the then CPNUML is dissatisfied, saying the responsibilities of provincial committees were assigned by conspiring right during the foreign tour of senior leader Madhakumar Nepal. In such a situation, share of responsibilities of district and local levels have further complicated. Meanwhile, Nepali Congress has prepared a preliminary draft for its organizational structure tailored for federal structure. The Congress Statute Amendment Committee has proposed 113 members, including 9 Central Working Committee officials. Formation of provincial committees have been proposed on the basis of population density, while district working committees have been proposed based on the House of Representatives electoral constituencies. Organizing a press conference yesterday, the Statute Amendment Committee informed that discussions are to be held on the proposed draft in all 7 provinces and that a revised proposal, including gathered recommendations, would then be presented to the Central Committee. The committee has proposed 33% reservation for women in all structures of the party. The number of Nepalese killed due to alcohol poisoning in Kuala Lumpur and Senalgor states of Malaysia has climbed to 9. 4 more are in a critical condition, while the status of 7 others is improving. Officials of the Nepalese embassy in Malaysia have informed that the procedures to send the bodies of those deceased back home is complicated. A total of 25 Nepalese were taken ill following alcohol poisoning in Kuala Lumpur and Senalgor of Malaysia on the 16th and 17th of September. 9 of them have died. Nepalese ambassador to Malaysia, Kumar Kharel, informed that 2 more Nepalese breathed their last on Saturday morning while undergoing treatment at the Sungai Buloh Hospital. The deceased are yet to be identified. Of those undergoing treatment, 4 Nepalese are in a critical condition, while the status of 7 others is said to be improving. Ambassador Kharel has informed that 5 have been discharged after recovery. Workers must be associated with the official company they are employed at so as to claim the treatment expenses, compensation and insurance. Accidents must have occurred in the working environment for easy claim of the insurance, while the damages caused by alcohol intake weakens the claim. Procedures to send the bodies of those killed by alcohol poisoning is complicated, as the Malaysian police are to further investigate the case and carry additional tests. The Nepalese embassy has informed that the local police has authorized sending of 2 bodies, however, it would require more time. Services to be received by the victims of alcohol poisoning remain unsure, as the number of workers associated with their legitimate employers is uncertain. The embassy has said that legal consultations are being held regarding the same. Meanwhile, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli left for the United States of America to attend the 73rd General Assembly of the United Nations. Prime Minister Oli embarked for the United States of America, leading a 20-member team. Oli was bade farewell by Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Ishwar Pokhrel, Speaker Krishna Bahadur Mahra, ministers and other high-ranking officials late yesterday. He is scheduled to address the UN General Assembly on the 27th of September, while on the same day will hold a bilateral meeting with the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Oli will also attend the dinner to be hosted by American President Donald Trump. Following the General Assembly, Oli will then reach Costa Rica on the 29th of September with his delegation. He will address a program of the UN Peace University in Costa Rica and is scheduled to return home on the 4th of October. The government has deployed 200 drivers of the security departments to ease the supply of petroleum products. The government deployed the staff of Nepal Army and police after the tanker drivers reminded the citizens of the border blockade induced by fuel shortage by obstructing the supply chain. The government has claimed that the fuel supply will ease by today. Despite the end of the strike of the drivers, a passenger vehicle supply of fuel products was obstructed as the tanker drivers had disagreed to resume their work. The government itself took the initiative in supplying the fuel after the citizens were compelled to queue for hours at fuel stations. The government chartered aircrafts to deploy drivers of various security departments, including security bodies at Raxaul and Vairava, to ease the supply of petroleum. Commerce and Supplies Minister Matrika Yadav has claimed that the apparent shortage will be resolved by today itself. Despite protesting the civil and criminal code and demanding rise in the allowances, tanker drivers are more discontent with the locking mechanism implemented by the Nepal Oil Corporation, which prohibits the drivers from stealing fuel. Minister Yadav has also claimed that the leakage of fuel wouldn't be the same now. Despite relative ease in supply of petroleum outside of Kathmandu, fuel stations in the valley have begun holding stock in the pretext of shortage. The corporation has decided to cut the fuel supply to Agni Jogini fuel station of Samakhusi, Kathmandu for an indefinite period after it was found of holding stock. Additional monitoring and regulation is imperative to avoid the situation of artificial shortage in the market. And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Your question is, what should be done to reduce the accidents that occur during foreign employment? Your options are: option A, make the training programs effective; option B, workers themselves should be aware. The voting for the question is on. Type any W, select your option A or B and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The regional hospital in Dadel-Dhura has been without even a single specialist doctor despite having allocation of 19 doctors in this regard. The district residents have been compelled to travel elsewhere for treatment for years due to the reason. And in this context, we had asked the residents of Dadel-Dhura regarding the difficulties they have been facing in terms of receiving proper health services. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public Voice.
अथवा काठमाडौँ पुग्नुपर्ने अथवा इन्डियातिर जानुपर्ने अवस्था सिर्जना भइरहेको छ।
एउटा उपक्षेत्रीय जस्तो अस्पतालबाट अञ्चल अस्पतालमा रिफर गर्नुपर्ने बाध्यता छ। यसले गर्दाखेरि सर्वसाधारण जनताहरूले स्वास्थ्य सेवाबाट वञ्चित हुनु परेको अब
आर्थिक अवस्थालाई पनि सानो चीजको लागि पनि बढी खर्च हुने, यहाँको जीवनस्तर नै अलिकति प्रभावित हुने खालको देखिएको छ।
पहाडी जिल्लाका विभिन्न ठाउँबाट गरिब जनताहरू उपचार हुन्छ भनेर यस उपक्षेत्रीय अस्पतालमा आउँछन्। यहाँ आएर चाहिँ डाक्टरहरू विशेषज्ञहरू नभएर यहाँबाट धनगढी महेन्द्रनगर जाने खर्च नभएर बिचाराहरू एकदमै पीडित भएर ऋण कर्जा गरेर भए पनि जानुपर्ने बाध्यता छ।
जुन मान्छे स्वस्थ छन् अनि पछि बिरामीको उपचारमा गएका चाहिँ हेर्ने मान्छे के रे तिनीको संरक्षण गर्ने मान्छेहरूले पनि झन् दुःख शास्ति खेप्नु परेको चाहिँ मलाई लागेको छ।
यत्रो ठुलो उपक्षेत्रीय अस्पताल भएर यहाँ बैतडी, बझाङ, डोटीबाट र डडेलधुरा जिल्लाका पेसेन्टहरू, बिमारी रोगीहरू आउने क्षेत्रमा यो नहुनु जनताको लागि दुर्भाग्य कुरो हो।
And now time for sports update.
Sports news.
Liverpool equalled the record for 6 straight wins at the start of the English Premier League and overall 8 wins when it defeated Southampton late yesterday. Liverpool, playing in front of its home crowd in Anfield, strolled over Southampton with a 3-0 win, with all the 3 goals coming in the first half itself. Liverpool was gifted a goal early in the match when Southampton scored an own goal. Joel Matip doubled the lead in the 21st minute, while Mohamed Salah ended his goal drought with a first-half injury time goal. Prior to this, Liverpool had set the record for 8 consecutive victories at the start of the season and 10 overall wins. Liverpool is currently leading the English Premier League with 18 points from 6 matches. In another match, defending champions Manchester City, playing away from home, blanked Cardiff 5-0. Riyad Mahrez scored 2 goals, while Sergio Aguero, Bernardo Silva and Ilkay Gundogan struck a goal each. Likewise, Tottenham registered a close 2-1 win over Brighton. Harry Kane opened the scoring through penalty in the 42nd minute. Ariel Lamela doubled the lead for Tottenham in the 76th minute, while Brighton reduced the deficit in the injury time. Manchester United played a 1-1 stalemate against Wolverhampton, playing away from home. Manchester United took the lead in the 18th minute when Fred found the net, but Joao Moutinho cancelled the lead for Wolves in the 53rd minute. Meanwhile, under-19 cricket team is currently under training sessions for the Asia Cup. The team, which returned following a friendly series in India last month, is currently under practice sessions with the ambition of reaching the semi-final stage of the tournament. The under-19 cricket team, which returned a few days back from its India tour, is now gearing up with the preparation for the under-19 Asia Cup. The team had featured in a friendly series in India upon the latter's invitation. During the tour, Nepal played against the under-19 teams and the National Cricket Academy of Afghanistan and India. Of the 4 matches, Nepal had won 1. Debutants were particularly impressive in those matches. The team had featured in the friendly series in India with the objective of building a string team for the under-19 Asia Cup. And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Good day.